or things like that. And it kind of starts off, sometimes you can like fall into that snowball effect of not doing anything and kind of not going anywhere and not achieving your goals, and then you get frustrated. But I think on days like this, it's really important, like especially like mindset is a huge thing for me. And I truly believe that mindset is like, if you've got that right, then I think everything else will flow on from there. Um, and I kind of was feeling this morning, like in times like this, especially, and especially during that time of the cycle, like it comes every single month, that feeling of unmotivation and things like that. Um, I really like to take care of my health, and I really like to take care of my mental space as well. Um, and really writing down on paper, um, and remembering what your vision is and why you do what you do. Like, it could be so easy for me. I've got an online business, and it could be so easy for me. Like, I'm my own boss. So some days are really, really hard for me to get motivated because I'm at home. Like, you can get caught up in things and feelings and things like that. So I think it's so important to have your mindset right. And that's something that I've learned along the way, that you have to have a stake in the ground. You have to have a reason why you're doing what you're doing. Otherwise, it's just too easy to just fall in the trap of like life, right? So today I remembered, like this morning, sorry, yesterday, I'll go back. I took some tech-free time off yesterday because obviously I'm on my phone quite a lot. I like to be really conscious of making sure that I'm off my phone as well. So yesterday I took some time out. I turned my phone off, and I actually sat down and I redid my business plan. So my business plan is around my girls' night out events, little hobby that I've got, and then I've got some other really exciting changes that I'm moving into. So I redid my business plan yesterday, and it kind of really brought out and reinforced and got me really excited. And this is the coolest part about it. Like, I don't know if you can hear it, but I feel so much more energized. I feel so much more excited when I talk about this. Redoing my business plan yesterday really kind of brought out why I do what I do, and the base of everything that I do, and why it's so important for me to show up in my best possible state, and do these things, is because my main um, vision, or my main purpose in life, is to decrease the suicide deaths in Australia each year. It's it's just ridiculous, how many deaths that are happening every single year from suicide. And obviously, going through that, in my own personal life, losing someone, um, it kind of brought me to this. So, when you remember what you're here to do and like what your purpose is, it just gives you that motivation to be able to achieve that goal. So it kind of doesn't matter. Like, to be honest, I wasn't excited for this call this morning because I'm like, oh my God, I'm so tired. Like, I've got no inspiration to give. I'm not going to just turn that on silent. My mum was just trying to call me. Um, yeah, I had all these silly thoughts going on in my head. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to be of service to anyone. I'm not going to be inspiring. I'm not going to add any value to anybody's life today. And to me, that's really disappointing, because all I want to do is help. All I want to do is give value. All I want to do is, be able to inspire another woman, and I sat here and I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Just my goal for this year was just to be my most authentic self. So I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to come on here and be really real. Like, this is what I do to get myself out of a funk, especially when I'm feeling unmotivated. And I know that definitely helps other people as well. Like, I know we all feel like that at times, more times than we'd like to admit. But I think it's really important to be able to, yeah, just share that, because I know that I've felt like that before, and I've done a lot of work to be able to feel the opposite to that. And that's what I want to share with other women as well, is how to do that, like how to go through that process, and give you that, um, give you that hope, I guess, that yeah, if you're looking after your mental state, if you've got that stake in the ground, then it doesn't matter if you're tired, you just plug back into that and it gives you that inspiration, then you kind of get that motivation anyways. Um, so yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit about that. I hope that was helpful. um, and my other thing, so I've got a 30-day self-love challenge going on in my Girls Night Out events page at the moment. It's free. You can just jump on and have a look in there at the page. I'm up to day 8, I think I am at the moment, which is, what was day 8? I think it's delegate. Yeah. So it's been really good. Like I've actually really, like I've been loving this challenge, like doing this not only for myself but for other women. Like these are all the things, like every single day, like these are all the things that, you know, I'm consistently doing on a daily basis. If not, like these are my main focus things that I'm doing all the time to make sure that I'm showing myself the most self-love that I can, so I can be of value to other women and can be of hope and service and all of those things. So yeah, I'd encourage you to go and check that out and follow along if you're not already. I think it's a really great reminder as well, like for women, especially during this time when we're feeling so isolated, disconnected, you know, from other people and stuff. But you know, sometimes we get so caught up in what's going on presently, like you know, everything that's going on in social media, like all of the news and stuff, and you know, we can get so caught up in that we forget that or we feel that the work that we're doing today is so insignificant, like it's not making a difference, when in actual fact, like if you're doing that work consistently every single day, it's going to add up to some really great results, you know, in the future. So I just wanted to come and share today that, you know, when we go back to normal, and you know, everything's lifted and we go back to our daily lives and things like that, I think it's so incredibly important today to be looking after our health, like not only what we're putting into our body but what we're feeding our mind as well. So looking after our mental state, looking after our physical body, so making sure that, you know, our immune systems are working really well, because as soon as we come out of this, like our immune systems are going to be a little bit compromised, because before we were touching and we were building natural immunity every single day by the things that we were touching and doing and people that we're exposed to. Like even though we don't think, sorry, even though we don't think that our bodies were working really well, they were actually doing their natural process before, you know, they were building natural um, um, immunity and natural fighting mechanisms to, you know, have that great immune system. So yeah, self-love is definitely one of those things that help our mindset. Doing little bits every single day is really important. Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, if you have got any questions or anything like that, feel free. I just thought I'd just share that little bit of love today.
That's awesome. I think my favorite bit was like that we feel like the work we're doing today is so insignificant and it doesn't matter. And I very much get like caught up in that. Like why would I even bother? Like that's kind of something I tell myself a lot. Like it's not going to make a difference. Why would I even try? Why would I even bother? And like one of the events we went to, and they I got up on stage and they said like, what's that thing you telling yourself? And I'm like, the thing I'm telling myself is I can't be successful anyway. Like why would I even bother? But I think it's a really good reminder that all the little things do actually add up. And I think it's like this is how I kind of have it in my head. It's like when you've got a small child and they're growing like a tiny little bit every day and you don't really notice, but then a friend comes to visit and they're like, wow, look how tall you are, or look how long your hair is, or like look at what you can do now. And you're like, oh yeah, like they are significantly different than what you saw last time, but you didn't notice because the changes were so small on a daily basis. So yeah, I think that was a really good reminder. That was definitely exactly what I needed to hear today, and I wrote it down and I've got a big star next to it. Thank you.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's good. I think it's so important to remind ourselves single day as well. And that's why I love these calls, because we've got so many thoughts going on at one particular time that we forget sometimes what we've learned. And that's totally normal, and it's totally okay, because we literally can't keep everything, every bit of information, every bit of education that we've ever had in our minds presently. It's always still there. It's just not in our focus at that time. So it's kind of like, it's a great reminder to bring, oh, that's right, I bring that to the forefront, because that's what I need to focus on. But yeah, just being kind to yourself, and going through your seasons, and especially being a woman every single month, there's going to be times when you're not going to feel motivated. But I think, if you've got that goal and you really want, if it's really important to you to achieve it, especially if it's for your health, especially if it's for your family, if that's, for me, they're my highest values. So anything to do with that is very important. So for me to get on this call today, even though, we've got 4 ladies here, right? I could look at that and go, oh, that's not very many ladies here. I'm not going to make much of a difference. But, what if that inspires one of you other ladies to then go inspire somebody else? Like, I don't have to make huge changes today, but small changes over time make a huge difference, like,
Sure.
I don't know what the impact is that I'm going to make on somebody else's life in 20 years time, but if I can change one person's life, like, the domino effect of that. And I look at you, Heidi, like, I think of, back, if somebody was to say to me, Beck, the impact that you're going to have on Heidi's life, like, and this is, I'm not big noting myself at all, but if someone was to say, the impact that you're going to have on Heidi's life in 3 years' time is going to be huge. Like, you're going to change her life. You're going to change her family's life. You're going to change her, her circle. Like, you could never like think that would ever happen, right? But it's
I'm
small
literally
little things.
crying thinking about it.
Oh, and yeah, I don't want to think about it because I'll probably cry too. But that's gratitude, isn't it? For the actual impact that we can make, and how selfish are we to think, like, that's what got me on this call today. Like, how selfish are you to think that you couldn't add any value today? Just by the fact, and then I kicked myself and I said, just by the fact that you're thinking like this, you absolutely need to get on the call today and talk your most vulnerable. Like, share your shitty moments. If you cry today, that's okay. Like, if you cry because you're tired, that's fine. Frick, we all cry because we're tired.
Yeah.
And then we like get up our kids because they're crying because they're tired, or they're whingy because they're tired. Hello.
Yeah, for sure.
That's really good, because like someone said to me in that context that you were speaking, like, why wouldn't I just tell one person, even if I'm in a crappy mood, like, just some positivity or something? Because someone said to me, like, when I was going through youth group, and they were like, don't ever be scared to share your failures and share your moments of like angst and churn, because you might change someone's life. And they were like, part of your testimony when you come to know Jesus is that you have a really shitty life, and then you meet Jesus, and then the shittiness gets better because you got someone by your side. And they turned around and they said, imagine if you chose not to share your testimony with someone because you thought that, you were feeling too ashamed that you were having shitty moment in your life, and then you stopped them from finding God. Like, I was like, holy moly. And that just sort of reminded me that, it doesn't matter, like, if you're feeling negative or if you're having a really crappy day, or because that's what, life is still going to be shit no matter what, but it's just, what you choices you make to bring yourself out of those moments, to find your people, to say, hey, can you pray for me? Or hey, I'm having a bad day, I just needed to reach out to someone. Like, those are the moments that turn for you and turn for someone else, and you don't know, sometimes you don't know or see the change that you impact in others, and that's okay too, but that doesn't mean it hasn't changed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. And I think it's really, like, especially for me, like, I'm really big on sharing my solution as well. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we can get caught up in chatting about you know, issues or things that we're having, challenges that we're having in our personal relationships or with our health or with people or work or things like that. But I like, it's so important to chat about solution as well at the same time. And I
Yeah.
think our story is so powerful. Like, you know, when we're going through challenge, and you know, especially if something that we've overcome or that we've had a huge realization or that we've moved through or something like that, that is incredibly powerful, because it's okay to be not okay, but like, I feel like you need to be doing something about it at the same time too. You know, reaching out to someone is really important, and sharing what you've learnt along the way is really important too.
Yeah, for sure. And I think definitely that reaching out, like sometimes, you know, when you're really, really low and you don't want to reach out, like, I think I'm trying to like put this into words, but like, it's so important to reach out because, like, yes, you're low, but sometimes actually that moment when somebody else gets to help you, they are lifted up. Like, they're like, oh wow, I really got to help Heidi today, and they feel really good about themselves, rather than seeing it as a negative and like, oh okay, like I had to come to my friend and, you know, I was really low. Like, it's actually win-win for both of you. Like, they, you know, speak a word of encouragement or something and help you get out of your low, but at the same time, you know, they've been able to speak their wisdom and their life experience and their solutions into you as well. It's actually win-win.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah,
I think picking your people is really important too.
Yes.
Like, you've got friends, and we love our friends, and some people just don't have that mindset, which is totally okay. They're not that's their season, that's where they're at. But I think it's really important to pick the people that you know that are going to uplift you and kind of give you that little positive reinforcement, rather than feeding into where you're at right now.
Yes, they can either water your sad sack state and allow that to get worse. I actually had a friend message me the other night, and she's like, oh, you know, like, I'm just really down at the moment. I've realized like this is probably not going to happen in my life, and this is not going to happen in my life, and woe is me. And I could have like replied and like, oh babe, that sucks, like, but instead I was like, girl, like, that is not what you should be focusing on. That's not actually the truth. Like, all things are possible. Like, and I totally like spoke against it. And she wrote back like, Heidi, you're right. Like, and I just said to her, go and find 5 reasons why, you know, like, the impossible can be possible. Like, don't sit in that. So yeah, it's very important to be, choosing who you're bringing your low stuff to, because some people will actually just feed your low state and be like, let's say you're coming to bitch about your husband, they're like, oh yeah, he's such a crap husband, blah 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 blah, and you're like just feeding the monster. Whereas instead, someone could be like, actually Heidi, like, I know that Alex is a really great man, and like, actually you're whinging about this, but he's really looking after you guys. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, pick those friends that are going to actually speak life and truth into you and pull you up when you're, you know, we can have serious, legit problems, but other times we can actually just be whinging.
Yeah.
So it's important to, have the right kind of friends that will speak that into you when you're actually just whinging.
What were you going to say there, Chelsea?
Yeah, it's just like a perspective, isn't it? It's like having those friends that, you know both of you, or just know you, but go, well, yeah, it's all right to feel like this, but actually it might mean this, like, different perspective on some things. Like, when you're in the midst of an argument with whoever, even your kid, like, you can just not see another side to the situation because you're so hot-headed and like fumed up. So just sometimes it's I always have like, well, Heidi did the internship and I was the first lab rat for internships. I actually did it in 2018. But yeah, they would always talk about having those friends that point out your blind spots.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily have to be friends that you talk to all the time, or friends that you really, really trust, or just people that you like, really. It can be a person that's just so solid on life. You go, look, I need help, like, with my flaws. I just need help with someone pointing out my blind spots. And sometimes just having those friends in your circle as well, like having those specific people in your circle, just to go, yeah, hey, like, yeah, you have every right to feel like this, but when you calm down, I'll explain that this, and then your response to this, and then they'd be able to point out what you don't see.
Yeah.
And so that was really good. I think what I've taken from this today is that I've had it on my heart to kind of pick up one of my internship books again. It's called Ordering Your Private World by Gordon MacDonald. It's a fantastic book. I absolutely love it. And I'm not a reader, so that's something different. And then, yeah, today just confirmation that, you know, hey, Chels, I think you need to find that book. Get it out again, because, yeah, just, I mean, my life's changed since I read it, because it's just so good. It's such a personal, like, growth book. Yeah, I can see where I was before, and then how I've applied it over the last couple of years. But I think I just need like a refresher, like you said, like a reminder. Like, it's always in the back of your head. You need someone to go, hey, and trigger that thing, and you go, oh yeah, and then you make the connection. So I think I need to get that, find that book.
And what's really cool, like, you can read a book 1,000 times, and over the times that you read it, the more that you grow, the more that you learn, the more that you experience. The book changes every time. How you read it changes every time, and I think that's what's really cool too.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with that. Yeah, it really depends on your life circumstances as well at that time. Like, you might be going through something that's long term, but you could read it, you know, 2 or 3 times, and it can mean completely different things.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
it's
really good.
Absolutely. Oh, that's cool. Did everybody have a good weekend?
Yeah. Restrictions were lifted, but we didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, I know. And that's the thing too, like, you know, my husband went out to we're pretty, like, I don't want to offend anyone, but we're pretty relaxed about this whole thing. Like, we've got our own personal beliefs about the whole situation. And I said to my husband on the weekend, he was going to Bunnings, and I'm like, oh, you're going to take the kids? And he's like, oh yeah, radio, we'll take him out and take him to Bunnings. And he just had to get something, and like, it was like one thing or something. And the kids were just like, nah, want to stay at home. Like, they haven't got out of the house in so long. I was like, oh, they're going to love going to Bunnings, the little trolleys and things like that. And they're like, nah. I'm like, oh crap. Stuck in the house. So it's kind of like, we're going to get to the end of this and no one's going to want to leave the house. They're going to, like, we so want to get out of the house, but it's like, oh, I don't actually want to leave.
Yeah. We've only got a couple of minutes, sorry, ladies, and I'll close off. But yeah, for sure. I had one of my friends saying that to me too. She's only got a young bubba, so like most mums with little bubs stay at home a lot anyway. So she's like, I'm just so used to being at home. Like, I actually don't even want to go out. I'm like, I know, right?
Yeah. And so many people are like, oh, I can work from home now. I'm just going to stay working from home. Like, my husband, like, he just needs a Wi-Fi and he's good. He can work from home. And he's like, yeah, I've had a chat with the boss the other day, and he's like, yeah, what's the chances of me, you know, only coming into the office like once a week? So working at home for the rest of it.
Yeah.
Changes, like, in your, what I noticed is that, like, in your, like, when all of a sudden a freedom that you've once had is taken away for whatever reason, like there are restrictions that we've had placed on us in the last 6 months, even if you didn't go out all the time, you just feel trapped because you don't have option anymore to go out. And I think I think it'd be good, I don't know, maybe to work on, for me personally, to work on like, well, you know, I don't see how that restriction has upset my freedom, even though I don't go out often. Just having that taken away, just I felt like it's not okay. Like, what is this? I'm trapped. Blah, blah, blah.
Yep, 100%.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like a mental thing.
It's a psychological thing, because when we're told that we can't have something or can't do something, our brain goes to, I beg your pardon, like, no, I'm going to have that. Or it's just like but if you go on a diet and you can't have this and you have deprivation for the whole time and you're not allowed to eat chocolate, you're not allowed to eat pizza and all those things, what's the first thing that you're going to want to have? The pizza, right? But if we say to ourselves, you can still have the pizza, but you're allowed to have it in sparing and you say that you can have it, you can still have it, but you don't have it all the time. You just limit the amount of times that you have it. You're going to be okay with that, because it's your brain goes, oh, okay, I can still have it, but I'm okay to not have it today. It's kind of like, oh, I'll just have it another time.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it's a bit of a mind thing.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's
especially when it goes over like long periods of time, like it has been, like with the restrictions. It's hard not to get into a mindset of, oh, this is, you know, shit, this is crap because I can't do this and I can't do that. And we just seem to focus on the things we can't do.
100%. And it's also because we don't have an end date. I think that's what's most frustrating as well. Like for some people that, you know, you go on holidays and you know that there's an end date, or you're working and you're coming up to a point where you're going to be quitting because you've decided you're going to move on to another job. You've got an end date, so you know that you're going to be leaving at some time, so you set yourself up and you feel okay. But whereas this, it's kind of like every day's unknown. You don't know what's going to come out of it, where we're going to be. So I think it's the unknown that we're scared about, and it's kind of like that unknown and that fear for the future, like, where are we going to be, what are we going to be doing, blah blah. So we're so scared about that, the uncertainty. But I think if we can get certain in the present moment, like, where are you right now? Where are you today? And, you know, I mean, like, at the end of the day, there is going to be an end limit. This isn't going to go on forever. So I think if we can get in, because I've felt this way too, I think if we can get into the mindset of, okay, well, what am I doing today? What are my goals? What do I want to achieve over this time? And continue on. Like, even though, you know, I don't know what that goal might be for you, or whether this is helpful, but I set myself up, because I don't know when I'm going to be able to do a live girls' night out event. But today and tomorrow and for the rest of the time, until I want to prepare myself every single day. I want to be having conversations with ladies in business. I want to be searching for other businesses. I want to be, you know, building all those things and building my blocks and getting everything ready. Oh, we've got 5 minutes. Okay. I want to be getting everything ready. So by the time that they say everything's back to normal, boom, I'm already out of the gates. Like, I'm already ready to go. I've got something set up. I've got the event ready to go. So it's literally just boom, put it into place, and then it's good to go. So I think it's just that fear of uncertainty, and remembering to be, you know, you can come back and be certain for today. Like, what am I doing today? And then just do little bits at a time. And also, it's a really great reminder overall of what we take for granted. You know, when our freedom's taken away from us, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, my freedom's been taken away from us. Well, we've always had it there the whole time, but we've just taken it for granted. And just said, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, or you know, it's like the little things. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll get to it today. I'm feeling tired today, so I'll just do it tomorrow. You know, tomorrow never comes. And yeah, I hope that was helpful.
Yeah, so good. There's a really good saying that's like, don't put off for tomorrow what you can do today. So yeah, I was actually just writing that down.
Yeah. So I hope that gives some inspiration for you can for your own certainty for the future. Like, you know what you're doing, like you've got your own goals. I think it's just really important to focus on that. There is going to be an end date, like even though we don't know an actual date, like the end of this will come. And I think we can still have some certainty around that. That's for sure. Our own goals and stuff.
Yeah, it's a bit like pregnancy. Like I don't know, the due date is going to be the due date, but this baby's going to come out at some point.
Exactly right. Yeah. Oh, ladies. Oh, so good to chat with you, ladies. And if you ever need to chat about anything or anything at all, just please reach out to us or in the group or whatever. We're always here to chat and help encourage and support. So always here for you girls. What was that? Sorry?
Can I please be added to the group? Is there like a Facebook group or something?
Yeah, you're in it.
The Girls Night Out page?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you search Girls Night Out events, I'll pop it in the group. I'll pop a link in there.
All right. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, because the 30 days.
Okay, ladies.
Beautiful, Beck.
What's that? Sorry?
Your 30 days of self-love's been beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I said to Brent yesterday, I'm like, I'm really enjoying this.
Yeah. Really good.
Yeah. It was good to see you, Larissa.
Yeah, you too. See ya.
We'll talk soon, girls.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.